Almanaque de hoje, uma entrevista com a banda finlandesa Nightwish, que veio ao Brasil mostrar sua versão mais melódica para o heavy metal. Ao rock pesado, eles unem orquestra, coro e os vocais de uma cantora lírica. De passagem pelo Rio de Janeiro, o grupo falou sobre música, estilo e a forte ligação que existe entre o público e as bandas desse gênero de rock. The challenge at the beginning was to create something new because most of you had been playing heavy metal for a long time and wanted to change. Did you know since from the very start that you were looking for an acoustic result?
That was the original idea. Nightwish was never ever supposed to be a metal band at all. Nothing to do with rock and roll, if you want to say it like that. I mean, the idea was that since I was playing in a couple of other metal bands in the beginning, I wanted to do something totally different, and that's why I came up with this Nightwish concept, which was to do like this acoustic campfire Boy Scout music.
Is it possible to have an acoustic sound when you're talking about metal with all the guitars and amplifiers?
I guess there are these unplugged shows that even some metal bands are doing, but I really don't see that it would work out really fine with what we are doing, at least for the most of the songs.
Of course, we don't have an orchestra with us on the stage. It would cost a lot of money. We have a real orchestra on the last album once, but and a choir also, but it's impossible to carry these people with us.
How was the experience of recording with the London Session Orchestra?
It was totally incredible. I mean, these people can really play. It brought some quality to this band, yes, in a way. But yeah, it was one of those dreams that I've had for years, to be able to include an orchestra of this level playing my music in our band. So when we went there, they were just given the notes the same morning that we started the recordings, and they did the whole thing in about 8 hours without ever even hearing about the songs beforehand. So that's musicianship. It was a great experience.
Tarja, you've started to learn music at the age of 6, if I'm correct, and then came the lyric lessons till you built a career in this type of music. How was the transition to rock?
Well, basically, I have been studying music since I was a little kid, and in '96 I went to the University of Music, and the same year Thomas came to me and asked me to sing on his first demo. It was basically a thing that I never expected anything like this. Any one of us expected anything like this big to happen, and I was not agreeing with them to go in any concerts, to make any live shows, and suddenly I was standing on the stage with them and everything got big. Of course, I was making my career as a classical singer, and I got to the point that I need to continue, and I have been continuing beside Nightwish all the time. So this means that I'm making my classical concerts whenever I have time. But the thing to be a heavy metal singer never came in my mind before I was 19 years old.
When you sing with the band in a metal concert, you have all the amplifiers and equipment, much different from a theater where you have to show all the capacity of your voice. What can you tell us about this aspect?
That is the biggest difference, really, that I am on my own in a theater singing in my own concert without amplifiers, without microphones. That is the biggest difference, that really people can hear my real voice. In Nightwish concerts, they don't have a clue about my real voice, even they don't.
criteria? Were you looking for a classic singer? Did the band wanted to have this lyric accent?
To be honest, I was searching for something completely different. I was hoping to have like this soft, girly female voice which would fit to the acoustic material that I had at that time perfectly. And then she came to the studio, and it was a big shock for all of us because we had no idea what her like singing style would be like, that it's so classical and so dramatic. And as I recall, it was also one of the major reasons why we put Nightwish's music into the metal direction, to do like a big sounding bombastic music to fit her big bombastic sounding voice.
And was it difficult to match her lyric voice with the sound you used to do? How was it?
I think the most difficult part has been for me to put my voice into this music. It took a long time, really many years to learn it. To be a classical singer and to sing this kind of music, you really need to develop a really different style. You cannot use the whole body of yours or the whole complete voice of yours in every position, in every sound. And you need to learn how to make visions with your voice. You need to learn how to make colors with your voice. And it's definitely a different thing than to sing in a classical way. I have needed to develop my own way. There hasn't been anybody to help me.
Is heavy metal a male environment?
Definitely, it at least has been a male environment. I think that nowadays there are many ladies in metal, as the front ladies in the bands, and you know, it's rising up, this female metal thing, but definitely I still believe and think that it's a male environment.
First of all, there was like many female fronted metal bands already before us. Well, not that many, but some. So it's not like we invented the whole thing. What I'd like to think is that combining this kind of music with her kind of voice, that's something unique. But it wasn't anything new to have a female singing in a metal band. And during the last, I would say like 5 years, there has definitely been like an uprising of female fronted metal bands in the whole world. We talk about like Evanescence and Within Temptation among the biggest ones.
How long have you been friends, and how did the band start?
We four, except Marco, knew each other since the high school, and actually we with Thomas and Empo had some projects before as well and played in the same bands. But then when Thomas wanted to get this new project done and he needs some musicians to play in, and then we came into picture.
In European countries like Germany, Austria, Norway. and you have been to Brazil 3 times. Which are the main differences between the audience here and there?
The fans really go crazy over here. I mean, metal fans all over the world are pretty much the same, but there's like one basic rule, and it's that the more south you go, the crazier it gets. I mean, when you come over here, people are following you everywhere. They're going to the hotel. They want to know everything about you. They want to have all the pictures for the autographs, and they're screaming like they're doing the show. So they're really passionate and really wild. So that's the difference.
People are fans, they are fanatic, that's where the fan comes from. And so I guess with this group, I guess the success has a lot to do, and the adoration is because, well, the music is quite unique in the way how it's put together. And of course, it's also in the genre, even though there are female-fronted bands, it is a little bit also exotic to have her to do the vocals. That might help. Anything else? I don't know. It's a total mystery, to be honest.
Now the metal audience is the most honest audience, and a metal fan is the most honest fan. So basically like that.
É uma coisa assim, é genética, né? Nossos pais gostavam de heavy metal e nós gostamos de heavy metal. Né? Somos uma segunda geração de metaleiros.
Eu nasci gostando de heavy metal me escolheu, porque tá no coração.
I mean, they're the most loyal fans in the whole world. I mean, it's something to do with when a metal fan listens to a band that he or she likes. It's not just music, it's something much more. For some people it's almost like religion, some bands. You know, they want to know everything about the lyrics and the music, and they follow the band. They want to know the details of every person, and it kind of grows up to be something more than just a music group for them.
Uma forma de liberdade, sei lá.
Você expressa o que você sente, é bem legal. A parte lírica também.
Por que se vestir de preto, levar pra vida como um todo esse gosto pelo rock pesado?
Acho que você já nasce assim, aí faz parte, entendeu? É uma coisa que já vem de dentro de você.
Cara, uma questão de encanto. Eu acho que a sonoridade, o tipo de levada um pouco reta, é como se emocionasse a pessoa, sabe?
What can you tell us about the music scenario in Finland?
Yeah, well, the metal scene at least is quite big these days. So there are a lot of bands in Finland that are getting recognition in Finland and outside of Finland as well. And it's been going on for like almost 15 years. And it's slowly started snowballing so that more bands will get recognition, have gotten more recognition, and then you get like a lot of bands that are successful outside of Finland, like starting from Stratovarius, and there are him, us, for instance, 69 Eyes, a lot of Children of Bodom, a lot of really like these bands that have a really straight guitar rock attitude to what they play. So that is just good. It's really nice to have that kind of genre, and you can be like patriotic about your country in a way.
Do you know anything about Brazilian music? No?
Samba and Sepultura.
Oh, really? Thomas, is that correct that you really love movie soundtracks?
It's really true, yeah.
Nightwish is in Alone in the Dark's soundtrack. How was that?
Well, it was just like the record company's idea, and the director of the movie, Alone in the Dark, he really liked the song Wish I Had an Angel, so they just made some collaboration, and it ended up being kind of like the theme song for the movie. It's going to be played during the end credits of the film and all that, but it has like nothing to do with my fantasies of doing music for movies, so it's just a very different thing. I mean, this song was done much before it ever came to be on that movie, so it was not done for the movie.
And when you made Once, were you thinking about like small pieces of soundtracks?
That's exactly what I was thinking. I think the songs on Once, they're like field music covered under a veil of heavy metal, or the other way around.
Does your music have a gothic influence?
Well, we kind of dress in black and we have a female singer, but that's pretty much it. I mean, there are so many people who consider us as a goth metal band, but I totally disagree. I don't think that we can be put into that category.
How would you classify yourself?
It's symphonic heavy metal, or just heavy metal if you please.
Here are some expressions we can find at your lyrics. Dead garden, dead world, dark thoughts, dark path. A lot of things that may sound depressive for some people. Are you hopeful people?
Occasionally, yeah. I mean, it's just that when you are doing songs, there's only so many happy themes that you can make songs about. I don't feel like a need to do songs about happy things. You know, I just want to get rid of all the demons from my head, and that way live a better life in this life. But you just put all the anger and frustration and all the bad feelings, fears, wishes into the music, and it really helps.